Welcome back on my channel and thanks for being here. This reading is for everyone who feels like they're a little bit, I would say, at a crossroads. And the intention of asking the energies were like, okay, for the people who are feeling like they're a little bit at a crossroads right now with things, what is maybe their energy? How can they move forward? So very interesting energies here. I can't wait to share this with you. I really love the energy of these cards coming out. And I looked at your current position, of course, and then it went on with like different options of what they could mean. So if you clicked on the title, I always believe that this reading will find the people in the moment that is meant, that this information is meant for them. So whenever you stumble across this reading, this might have information for you that you could use in your life. There you go. So let's start. Okay, we're going to start with the current, like with the energy that I'm picking up from the cards. And the first card that wanted to show itself in this reading, if I can pick it up, there you go, was the Nine of Wands in the reverse. And I do feel like that you're in a very protective and worn out state right now. You might have been through a lot of challenges recently. You might even be sort of guarding yourself to a point. And I think that there is something to say about that. I think that you're rightly guarding yourself because you're showing resilience in a way, but also, like I said, you're tired. I feel like there is a lot that you've been holding recently in the area that you're looking for. This is not tied to a specific part of your life. This is not necessarily tied to love or money or career or whatever. This is an energy that you can use for all of these. So I feel like there's been going on a lot of like protecting your boundaries. Maybe you've been starting to take your boundaries more serious, and that could have led that you felt like, wow, this is actually something that was necessary, but it's sort of very much goes in line with putting a lot of effort into this. So this might be new to you in a way, and I feel that you're that you feel like it's leaving you sort of stuck. So I feel like you're not like getting what you wanted out of it as much as you hoped for. Another energy that wanted to show itself really early was the Two of Coins reversed, which is also the imbalance or also some sort of mismanagement that you might be feeling like you're juggling different priorities back and forth. There is a lot of commitments and resources and all these things that go into this situation. So this might be about a part of your life that is really ready to be a lot more simplified than it is right now. And I feel like that something here wants to shift from like this chaotic position to or like sort of overextension that this situation might provide to more clarity and focus. So I feel that once you notice where your energy is sort of scattering and not in the alignment as much as you want it to be, that's probably where you're going to find the most resourcefulness for your next steps. I feel like this time also, because the next card that showed itself was the Wheel of Fortune. And I do believe, looking at all of these messages together, that there is this point where this stuckness that you're feeling, or this feeling of being blocked and not being able to move forward that you're feeling, is not necessarily bad luck. So I feel like that there is some timing, like, you know how our life goes in cycles and in timing, and it does feel to me a bit like this might be one of these times where you may have been pushing against the natural flow of things, so to say. Maybe also trying to want to control things that really couldn't be controlled by you, or the situation was uncontrollable. So, you know, sometimes we are stuck in a situation we don't have control over other people. We can only control how we actually deal with that situation. So I feel like it's recognizing, or it's helping you, this feeling stuck moment or energy or time right now is actually helping you recognizing where life is moving in circles and where it's okay to lean in, and where, you know, it's leaning in, or is it worth to fight it? Is it worth to go for it? I feel like that is very important for you to know before we move forward, because I have two different options. So there is one road that's showing, which is option A, and then there's a second option, which is option B. So the first option that it showed up was the High Priestess in reversed. So that means that you might be ignoring your intuition, or at least hiding from your intuition or inner truth. So it feels like there is a path that invites you, and you might have been already recognizing that in your life, that sort of invites you to notice what your gut is telling you. So subconscious is signaling, even if that's an uncomfortable thought. It's often those thoughts we have like, oh, but it can't be. And then later on, you're like, I knew I had a weird feeling about this. So one path for you would be reconnecting with your inner knowing, noticing like sort of what you've been avoiding, or also dismissing. It could be something that you've been dismissing, and then that could guide you to your next step. So it's like that would be one path to take. Another option here, the message that showed up, there's a lot of reversed cards in this reading, but it's the Two of Cups reversed. And I feel like, especially when it comes, this card is always about relationships, partnerships, collaborations, and this energy may feel out of sync or misaligned for you right now. So it feels like option B invites you to look at exactly those things, to look at your connections. So this might be about you seeing sort of your partnerships or your friendships, your collaborations, seeing which ones are no longer balanced, which ones don't have the same, I want to say, meaning, or not the same energy as they used to have. So that would be one. But also I feel like, looking at this, that it's very important for you to have clarity around where you're investing your energy. So you might want to take a bit of more of a look at exactly that. Another thing that is coming up for me is really a big one for both, is investing your energy, because I feel like with the High Priestess, it's like giving energy back to yourself, trusting your thoughts and your feelings more. But the other one is looking on the outside. So for some of you, it might even be wise to combine the two. So, but that's something that you would have to look at for yourself, obviously, and see where that leads you. I think that the decision that you're about to make is the last card that showed itself, and that is another reverse card, and the Two of Swords card. So I do believe, when I look at all of these together, that there is basically this decision. This card is always about the decision making, but not knowing what to tune into. And it seems to me almost that there's some resistance, there's some indecision, there's avoidance. And what I'm picking up on is that the final step for you to basically make a decision is to choose consciously. So it feels like there is some parts that you're definitely avoiding right now and that you don't want to look at. But as soon as you actually give them the time of day and give them some spotlight, it seems to me that is when you can finally choose something consciously, and that then becomes the empowerment, the direction that you actually want. So overall, I would say you're a very resilient but kind of tired person right now. That's just how you might feel, and that is natural. There's nothing wrong with it. But I feel like there's a lot that can be simplified and balanced out, especially when your energy is like all over the place and scattered in a million places. I think also that it is important to accept cycles. So there is a time and reason for everything, and this might be important for you to know. Our life always runs in rhythms and seasons and cycles. So whatever the cycle is that you're in right now might be just one that is keeping you a little bit on the slower end or undecisive, but it's meant for something. It is for a good idea for you right now to tune into your intuition. So this might look like that you do that more, or you choose the other one and evaluate the connection. So this might be two sets of people who watch this video, you know, where 50% might have to more tune into their inner knowing and what they're sort of dismissing thoughts that come up, but they're being dismissed right away. Maybe also looking at the dreams that you have, and whenever they come up and you're like, oh, no, that's too big, goodbye. Look at those. And for the other part of this collective, it might be that this is really about evaluate connections in your life, evaluating the things in your life that, and relationships, the collaborations, partnerships, whatever that means for you, but to actually look at those and see where they're not aligned anymore, and then basically change something about that. So that might also be something that drains your energy a little bit. I think that this is all about making a very conscious decision. So that might mean that this is not a quick fix, okay? So what will help you in your situation is making a conscious decision. And a conscious decision can mean for you that you actually look at what's going on right now. Because if there's a lot of pattern disruptors and if there's a lot of overwhelm right now, it might be wise for you to turn that volume down a little bit. And I'm sort of excited to see what's on the bottom of the deck here. It's the 10 of Swords in reverse. So that means that I feel like there is an ending to this cycle, you know, to the cycle that we're in here. And I feel like, without wanting to be like, oh, it's all going to be okay, because this looks to me like this is going to be a path that is a little bit rocky, but this reading is there to help you. And the helping portion is to go with one of the guidelines, maybe basically, or to go with the guidance and just make a conscious decision about something in your life that's draining your energy, overwhelming you, and keeping your priorities all misaligned. So an honest, good look at what's going on in your life right now might actually get you out of that slump that you've been feeling. All right. Take what resonates. What does not resonate, you please leave at the door or at this computer screen or wherever you're watching. I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.